Alright.
Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
So, Tips Hat and Diamond. Number one thing we're gonna watch is this ward right here. Like, it's nice to do the early ward, but this ward didn't see a single fucking thing the entire time it lived. This ward didn't do a damn thing. But if you had placed it here, you would have seen Graves. Also, just walking up in this area, you would have seen Graves. You could slap that shit down in front of his face unless he has someone else there to help him out. He can't clear it. Even if he does clear it, it's not the end of the fucking world. You now have Veteran Vision. You know Graves is in this area at one point in time. Even though you don't fucking know when he's going to do his chickens, it's still more information than this ward right here gave you. So make sure you push up, place that ward there.
Okay.
Secondly, we're gonna go down here. You're doing red. You don't want to smite red? That's fine. You get a leash on your red. Smite your damn Krugs. I smite my Krugs almost every single time. Because if you smite Krug, you can kill it with Q, 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 W. And move on. You don't even have to use E. And I don't even take E level 2 anyways when I start on this side of the map. Because Q and W clears Krugs and chickens as long as you smite the bigger Krug here. So always smite your bigger Krug, especially if you're starting on this side of the map. You're level 2, take your W, and you clear this shit really fucking fast. Same thing goes with this. So you dashed into the middle of this, hit this chicken right here, take a step back to here. They all line up in a straight fucking line if you just step to right here after attacking one of these little ones. And then you just click on this one and you just Q back and forth 4 times. Q, 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 Q. All these little chickens die. You Q, 1 auto, Q, 1 auto, Q, 1 auto. And you'll kill all the little chickens, and all the extra attack speed stats you have will kill this chicken. So you don't even have to W it or E this wave. 4 Qs will kill this at every level of the game.
You're saying walk up and auto one of the chickens in the front?
Yeah, so this chicken right here you can auto attack, or this chicken right here you can auto attack. And then you just walk back to this little, like, fucking, this little green mushroom thing in the ground. You just step back to there, and they'll line up in a perfect line for you, so that you can just Q up and down 4 times, and you'll kill them all. Like I said, Q, okay. Throw 1 auto, Q, throw 1 auto on the big chicken every time, and all the little ones will die to your Q, and you'll have 6 stacks of your passive built up after the 4 dashes, and you just use all 6 of those slaps on the big chicken, and then you can walk away, and it'll die. Either to your fucking little jungle guy, or red buff, or something. If you need to hit it one more time, you can, but yeah. So then we move up to wolves here. Again, line up your camps. You want to line up your camps. You want to hit all 3 of these with every single Q. Right here, you only catch these 2. So same thing. What I like to do is you can W from like right here, where your little monster is, into this pit, and you'll catch all 3 and knock up. And then you can auto them as they walk over to you, and then you just Q through them again. If you want, you can use your E on the big one, but the Qs will kill the little wolves, just like the little chickens. And then if you want to E the big wolf, you can, or you can just slap it down and you can save your E for your blue. You didn't know about the scuttle nerfs, so that's fine, but personally, I always smite either blue or Gromp. Usually it's blue, because it's already 3 minutes. I usually just smite the fucking blue buff, and I want to start getting into a better position, whether it is seeing that my Garen is shoving and he hasn't put down a single ward, so he clearly has no brain cells, because it's 3 minutes into the game, he's no wards down, and he's hard shoved into a Nasus that has Wither. He's asking to die. Like, this is step number 1 for you are dog shit at the game. Is 3 minutes, you're shoved up. Same with your bot lane. No fucking wards. No matter where this Graves goes right now, whether it is top or bot, your laners will die. Because they're just brain dead shoving a wave at 3 minutes. It is prime time for gank. Because as you can see, He's finishing up his red. You're finishing up your blue. Scuttle spawns at 3:30. You're going to start going into river. You're going to start looking at the lanes, and ganking is just like on the way to where you want to go. So, looking around the map, seeing that your laners clearly have no brain cells, you want to try and smite that. You move up, and you would have caught him right there at the river. But you move down, you get Scuttle, but they just fucking beat the shit out of him because he's an idiot. I think he actually, no, he doesn't actually get out of that. He just fucking dies. Where, like I said, if you would have E'd and then smited your blue and then moved up to try and just hover him, because you had like 15 seconds before Scuttle spawns, so you could have just sat in this bush. I do this all the time. Like, if I see that they're shoving and they're being really dumb about it, I'll sit in this bush. You'll see Graves coming. So now this Graves, instead of killing your Garen, now you guys are in a position to kill the Graves. So you can just dash on him or W from the bush. Usually I like to dash through them and then try to W. I find it a little more consistent than just raw Wing it. They can react a lot easier. But whatever you want to do, you guys can collapse on him here. Garen can rotate. You're in a much better position to kill this Graves than even trying to defend from the gank, or just, as you saw, he's an idiot. He dies, and now he's got no summoner spells because for some reason he thought he was killing the Nasus.
Yeah, the Nasus doesn't really do anything this early. His Qs don't hurt.
Yeah, so just being in this area, Graves doesn't show up. Oh well, you're still in a great spot. You can just walk down fucking 3 steps and get your Scuttle bug. Graves wants to contest it. You guys are still in a much better position to contest this Scuttle because Garen's shoving, Malzahar's shoving. Nasus and Aurelion Sol are both late game champions. They don't want to take a Scuttle fight. So you just start spam pinging help if Graves even just shows up on the screen, and your teammates know to look like, oh, there's a Graves here. We need to rotate this way. And that's why you'll see, if you watch my games, I spam ping help a lot. Because even if I don't need help, it makes your laners use their eyeballs. Because laners don't have eyeballs most of the time. So yeah, this could have helped your early game a little bit. Just try and get you in a... It would have been faster, it would have been more productive in the end. It would have helped you prevent this first death. And... your teammates are idiots. They're always going to be idiots. That will never change. Even in my platinum games and diamond games, as you can see, the teammates are always idiots. So always play like they will be idiots. You have to cover for their failures. Even right here, where Garen didn't ward. This is like, him dying is not your fault, but it will cause you to lose the game. So you have to play around it. Alright, let's see what happens here. Where are you at? But yeah. What did you even do after this? Yeah, you went for him. I don't think there's any universe you get the kill there. Honestly, Graves recalling was kind of weird. But I would have went for Crux if I was him. You went for this. I kind of understand why, but you're Bel'Veth. You don't do damage. So, if you're going to take this, you could have gone and looked for a double Scuttle angle, or even Gromp, or even did what Graves did in Recall. Because now Graves has all the tempo. Because now you're in a weird spot. Because now you can go for Gromp, and then you can Recall, but then you're really late for Dragon. And your camps down here are really susceptible, because you just showed yourself on the top side of the map, and Graves already Recalled. So Graves has got a kill. He's fucking recalled. He's got his buffs. He's got items. He's feeling fucking great right now. You have not done any of these things. You haven't recalled. You're not at full HP. You don't have a lot of gold. You could probably buy a Vampiric Scepter right now, maybe, because you skipped your Gromp, so you might be a little short. So you're in a bit of a weird angle here, where he's just rotating around the map. So now he gets free Scuttle. And he gets greedy here, and he goes for the Chicken Invade. Given 90% of the time this would have worked, seeing as how you showed yourself up here. But you rotated down and then just beat the shit out of him in the 1v1. Because he played this shit horribly. There's been no universe he loses this 1v1 this hard. Like, you have no items. He's got fucking 2 long swords to your fucking health pot. And you just beat the shit out of him. For no reason. He should have won this really fucking hard, but he played it like shit. And yeah. So he should have been in a way better position there, and he would have been snowballing this game out of control because of just how you played this little early segment up here. But now, like I explained to you, but now you've done your chickens, you've done your Krugs, you're in a really weird spot right now. So let me see if I can change this. We'll bring up the scoreboard here. Because now you've recalled. But your camps that are up are going to be up here. Like your Gromp's going to spawn next, and you have your wolves up. So where you want to go is probably to your Gromp area and get these camps so you're still farming. But Dragon is up. Dragon's up. You know Graves is back alive. He probably didn't clear his bottom camps. But apparently he did after he immediately respawned and cleared his fucking camps. He's going to want to be on the bottom side of the map, and he most likely has Scuttle. So you have to go down here, or you're just giving up a free Dragon. Your bot lane's also pushed and kind of low, so you have to cover for them. So it's in a really weird spot, but you don't have camps alive. So it's not a great place to be, because now you have to be on the bottom side of the map, but you're not making any gold right now. Like, there's nothing for you down here. So this is a big time loss, other than trying to, like, force a Dragon. Honestly, that is crazy that vision plant didn't pick this up. So they had vision of you. That's wild. Knowing that you just showed up here, hit that, and they had vision of you, and Graves still said fuck it and went for top. That was kind of troll by him. This was bad by him. Because the second I see you here, I fucking speed run it to that Dragon pit. But yeah. So him showing up here is really good for you guys. This was really bad by him because there was so much. Him being on the bottom side of the map was a huge win for him. Like I said, he had his camps up bot. He's got his blue up bot. He's got Dragon.
So you knew I was on that shit too. Holy crap.
Like he had everything in his advantage here. He's just bad. But you should have been like, this should have got heavily punished. But this was a huge comeback for you, because what could have been a huge time loss and you just being out of position ended up being a huge comeback for you, because you got Dragon, you got blue, and you were now where you want to be. Sure, they get Herald, but Herald for Dragon's a trade that you're happy to take in the position. Like with the early game that Graves got, that's a happy trade for you. So this is just showing like he played this pretty poorly as well. He could have punished you really hard for your pathing. And that's like jungle's so fucking hard, man. Like you have to think of all this shit constantly. Like there's so much in the game state that you just have to be aware of and constantly rotating around the map, which makes it really hard, especially if you're like duoed and Pandas is in the mid lane having a hard time, and it's just like, I can't force a gank mid right now. Like, I want to help you out, trust me. But there's so much I have to keep doing and constantly keeping rotation around the map that I cannot force a gank right now without losing heavily somewhere else. And so it's hard to explain all this in the moment, but there's just so much you have to keep track of at all times. And if you slip up, you will get punished the higher elo you go. So especially like in Platinum and shit. In Platinum, you can make a few mistakes here and there, but the higher you go, the less mistakes you can make, and every little mistake counts. Like, even Neuro, I'm sure, experienced it. In the late game, if one person is one step out of line, they get collapsed on, they get killed, the game is over. GG's 4v5, they take Baron, they push down mid, it's a wrap. Like, it's minuscule things. For junglers, it's just more so trying to move around the map so your team is in a position where you are in the most advantaged state going into mid to late game, because you have the most influence on the map in the early game, and unless you're in high elo, and then it's mid, jungle, and support, which is why they are considered the two most influential roles. Lower elo's not so much support, because no support will ever leave their fucking lane. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a fucking lot. Okay, another thing. Your Bel'Veth. Fucking spam your abilities. Like, other than your E is pretty important because it's like a 22-second cooldown. You have 4 Qs. fucking start using them bitches all the goddamn time. Move around the map. Q, 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 everywhere you fucking go. If you ate the soul of the dragon or the herald and you can now fucking go over walls, Q over every fucking wall. Spam that shit. You have no mana. It's like a 4-second cooldown. That is your movement. It is how you get everywhere faster than everyone else. You can clear camps really fast and you can rotate around the map really fast. Abuse that shit. If you also have a soul, be more fucking invade happy in a way, but not combat happy. Just because you're large and in charge, you still get fucking ass slapped in a fight because Bel'Veth just doesn't have that strong early game presence. But similar to like Kayn, they cannot punish you for an invade. So I think it's later in the game, you're fucking doing these Krugs and Nasus is standing right here. He literally can't do anything to you. Like, he might hit you with an E, he might wither you, he might hit you with a Q, maybe 2 Qs. You just dash over the wall and he never fucking sees you again. What's he gonna do, flash? You just dash right back. Like, they cannot stop you from taking everything you want in their jungle without sending multiple people. So don't be afraid to fucking get loose with your fucking Qs. Get in there, get out, play a little crazy. You have to push that lead. And that's why you see I put so much priority on these fucking the dragon and the herald when I hit 6, because it gives me that fucking dash over walls ability and I can start moving around the map at a rapid rate. And I never lose that form. Like, the second I see my form getting a little low, I'm looking for the next objective. I'm looking for a little fight where I can get an assist on so I can keep that form longer. Because if you get Herald or Baron, you get little swimmers. Nothing else gives you little swimmers. But if you get Herald Soul and keep that form because you keep refreshing it, you keep those little swimmers. So you want to keep that form and don't drop it. It's like a Draven Axe. You have to maintain that fucking form because that just maintains how long you have those little swimmers. And I don't need to explain the little swimmers, all right? You've seen their power. So the longer you can keep that form, the longer just pressure, because now you unlock the ability to split push with Bel'Veth. Because without your little swimmer, she doesn't really do anything in the lane, but with the swimmer, she's dominant in a lane. You don't need a minion wave. You can take their minion wave and immediately crash tower with it. It's so strong. So you're clearing through here. The next objective coming up is Dragon. You're playing to the bot side of the map. Right there, like I'm saying. Like, I know your E is up here, because I remember telling you about it. Play. Okay. So right here. The second you see this, hit both those dashes. These 2 dashes can go in a straight fucking line. Fucking get in that ass right away. Don't give them time to fucking plan their escape route. Make them panic. Bam. Hit the other one. Boom. You're on them. Now she has to fucking flash. You missed the W. It's not the end of the world. You just need to get a hit on her, and Jhin needs to hit his shot. That's the win con here. Because even if you hit this, Jhin hitting his shot is still the win con because you don't have the damage to single-handedly kill her. But you hit the dash up. You get the angle. She stops moving. She's an idiot. You hit this auto attack, Jhin hits the shot. That's the win con. This is the moment you were waiting for. The second you see this coming down, you hit E. She's taking the full blast of that E in her ass. She's eating all that, but you walked away. And then Misfortune can block these bullets now. Where Jhin actually played this super fucking well. If you hit E, she's taking all that damage while rooted into Jhin ult. Misfortune can't walk up without walking into you. You guys probably kill Sona here, because she only has like fucking 100 HP. So don't be afraid. Yeah. And you had no reason to save your E, because, again, you have no mana, you have no reason to save these abilities. Throw them bitches out there, even if you fucking give her 2 licks in the cheek, just throw it out there. It's still just extra good damage to use. Like, don't be afraid to use your abilities.
And it would have taken less damage from that Misfortune.
Like, you don't need your E for anything coming up. Like, sure, it'll help you clear your Krugs, but by the time you fucking Q through this shit a bunch of time, your E is gonna be back up. You don't need your E for anything else. So don't be afraid to use your fucking abilities. Every time you go for a gank, just throw them all out there. Just fucking slap everything against the wall. Smite them because they fucking look at you funny. Just throw it all out there. Hit them with everything. If you kill them, cool. If you don't, oh well, back to your jungle, you know?
Right.
Okay. So they wrap around here. I believe you get caught up on Graves. You see her. She is, for starters, the AD carry. No mana, half HP. This is Mr. President. All you care about is this misfortune. Like, in these fights, you need to either go for someone who's very close to dying and make sure you get an assist on him, or Mr. President. That is your only goal. You don't need to kill him. You need to get up all of them in their face, be a big scary bitch, and make sure they can't do what they want to do. Because this is your Mr. President. This is who you need to protect. Miss Jaded standing at their fucking tower is not protecting the president. So that's your job now. You can die. You don't matter. He needs to get all these kills, and you need to make sure she dies so he can do that. She even gets rooted. You were not hitting her. You did not go far enough. And that's the only thing that matters. I think your fucking Lux missed too. No, she didn't. So that's a soul right there. You just needed to barely touch her and you get that soul. But she barely gets away at 1 HP, walks all the way over there. There's no soul for you to pick up, and this fight just goes horribly. All because you didn't get to Mr. President. That's your only goal in these fights. Same thing with the late game. Get on those fuckers that are carrying the game. That's all that matters. Identify the biggest threat, the easiest one to kill. Kill that bitch, get their soul. Make sure they can't do what they want to do. Misfortune wants to drop a big-ass ult. Never let her drop that ult without catching a W. Because, like, Jhin can turn this if, you know, maybe Graves misses his ult. Maybe Graves plays it well. He can turn this. Maybe Lux decides she actually wants to play the fucking game and goes and stands in front of the Jhin and does something important. But you guys could have easily won this fight, but it went bad for you. And this could have been a huge turning point where Jhin has now got, like, a triple kill. And it's getting to the point in time where nothing else really matters. It's going to become a hodgepodge. Because 14 minutes, it's a different game. Yeah, this was just dumb. Like, this was super greedy of him. Like, he killed the Sona, Graves walked up here. He has no reason to not just sprint it back to his tower. Aurelion Soul doesn't stop him. But he, like, went in this bush. He kind of griefed this, but this has nothing to do with you. This is just hard to watch. Okay. Oop, slow it down, slow it down. Trying to find you. Okay. So yep, you're back on the bot side. You should have done your Krugs. Dragon's not spawned yet. I don't think it tells me what time Dragon spawns. It doesn't matter. We can see that's not spawned for a minute. Do your Krugs. Don't waste time here. Like Graves is pretty out of position and walking around with no HP with Dragon spawning. But at the same time, he's not making any money, but you're not making any money. And now you're starting to fall behind. You're lower leveled than the Jhin because you have camp. This camp's respawning. You're not doing any of your jungle because your rotations are off. So you're going to start falling very far behind. Jungle camps don't give you jack shit. So if you're not keeping rotation, you're going to fall behind, and you'll fall behind fast. Because your jungle camps give experience more and more depending on how often they get cleared. So if you're not clearing those camps, even if you decide, hey, it's finally, I got time to clear these camps, you're not going to get jack shit from those camps.
Right, because I haven't been keeping up on them.
Mm-hmm. So you got to make sure you keep in rotation. You got to keep carrying those camps. Even if you are sticking around on the bottom side of the map because you have to, I'll often do that. You have to make sure you're desperately clearing these camps then, so they're at least giving you the experience you need. You 100% get away with taking the soul. That tower's not going to hit you for that much damage, and you're going to get enough HP. You just are that bitch. You have 3 dashes up. You immediately dash down, and then you immediately dash to the left, and you're fucking out. But with these two in position, now they're moving back towards you. You're moving down towards them. Now it's too late. Like, now they're going to collapse on you. You can't dash down because Aurelion Sol is going to beat your ass. So now you got to run away. So the second he died, though, you could have got that shit and fucking, woo! Skedaddled. Immediately hit the recall because you got to get back in time for Dragon. I don't know why this Misfortune was doing so much damage. That Misfortune had 1 kill and it was 2-tapping fucking everybody. That shit was actually insane. Gotta love Sona, man. Sona's such a good champion. Okay. You're back now at the Dragon. This is good, mostly because this is where you need to be. You need this objective. This objective isn't up yet. This one has priority. Problem. You still haven't touched your fucking camps. So you're still level 7. Graves is now level 9. You can't fight a soul. Sona is gonna fucking give you a hard time right now because even she has a level lead on you. You have to hit your camps. You just can't. You can't ignore them. You gotta fucking squeeze in some time. You guys have vision of Dragon. You know they're not doing the Dragon. Hit your damn camps. Make your mini map bigger so you can see where they are. Top lane, your map doesn't matter. Jungle, everything fucking matters. Like, every little detail you can get on where the enemy jungler is and what they're doing is vital to keeping track of them and stopping them. And so, yeah, you have a ward on this. Do your Krugs. Move up to Raptors. Like, you have fucking wards here and here. By the time Graves is going to push this, they don't have good options to quickly burst down your bot lane. You can go from here to the bot lane by the time Graves shows up on these wards. You're going to be late, but your bot lane should be able to play safe enough that you still get there in time for a cleanup. Or if they decide they want to start Dragon, you're just at your wolves. You wouldn't bother going up for, not wolves, but chickens. You wouldn't bother going for your wolves because then you're too far. But you can do your Krugs and chickens here with how well your support actually warded. Like, you have ward on everything you need. Like, the only better thing for you guys to have would be vision of Graves himself. But you know he can't do any of the major things that could affect the game right now. So you don't need to be here. You need to be clearing your camps because you are extremely far behind now. You should have smited. You get those every time. Come on now, that's that. You know me. You know me. I don't miss those smites. I'm a stealing god out here. Gotta get them smites. You get out of this, personally, I would have gone down. Given I would have died, because what the fuck is this? You played this okay, it could have been better. They played this horribly. What is this positioning? In what universe do you ever run at 3 people in their jungle past 2 tower? They have no escape route. The second they show up on this ward, these 3 turn around and instantly fucking kill them because this wave is not gonna last. They're in the worst spot I could possibly imagine them to be. Like, this shit is terrible. I would have instantly ran down. Your bot lane meets you right here. It's now a 3v3. They cannot all in you. Even without the knowledge that Sona blew her fucking ultimate on some grass earlier. Like, they still can't fight you even with Sona ult there. But you decided to ran up. That's fine. Your Malzahar was playing with his fucking mini-map turned off, so he didn't actually rotate to a goddamn thing this game. But you're still in a position to run up to your mid lane, match them, and slow them down. Because basically, in this position, you just desperately want to get to a team, not necessarily what's the best way to get away. Because in this day and age, everyone fucking catches you. You have 4 dashes, it's not a fucking enough. Like, every champion in this game has a million movement speed. They will fucking catch you. So you want to you want to always have teammates around to try and assist you. That is going to be what keeps you alive more times often than not. And so yeah, this, I don't even know what to say about this, because this is the weirdest fucking fight I think I've ever fucking seen. Like, you have your bot lane here, Misfortune's ulting them, Sona's up there, you got Malzahar here fighting the Aurelian Soul who's ulting him, you're just killed the Grave. Like, what the fuck is going on? Nobody's working together in this big ass 4v4 for the dragon. It is the most wild shit I've ever seen. This truly is silver, because goddamn, this positioning. So, like, right here, these guys are a bit too far from Aurelian Soul. I would have went for Soul because he's the isolated. Like I said, you wanna find the person who doesn't have teammates. That is always the easiest person to kill. Even though your Malzahar is running for the fucking hills, he should have definitely pushed this advantage. You two definitely kill Aurelian Soul. He can't do anything to fight back against you guys. But you went for Misfortune, not a bad choice. ADC, Mr. President, looking kind of low. But you know Sona's here in an area to assist her. It's not really reliable to attempt. Like, you're not easily going to kill Misfortune with Sona sitting there on top of her. Like, you could have the potential to be Sona ulted. She's going to get healed. You don't have the damage to solo her. Malzahar can't help you here. Given your bot lane's fucking here. So it's kind of weird to say what the right play to make is, because your bot lane could potentially collapse on this before Aurelian Soul can back it up. But it's a fucking disaster. Usually you want to find the isolated guy where he's alone and you're not. You can get multiple people to gang up on him and burst him down. But again, this is the most silver shit I've ever seen. So it's kind of hard to say what the right fucking move is. But yeah, she immediately gets on top of Sona. You immediately have to back out. Your bot lane does a full fucking lap around. It's just, and now you guys are the isolated one, because now it's a 2v3 situation. And your bot lane is back here shooting Sona, who doesn't matter. So now you guys are in the bad position, and they're able to aggress on you because you guys were so split despite having the numbers advantage. But I don't necessarily think that was your fault. That was just a weird fight. Again, I don't know why Misfortune just 2-tapped you there, seeing as how she has 1 kill and a Dirk. But she bodied your shit. That damage was insanity. And yeah, so that fight just goes horrible, but that was a wild one. Because they're just picking you guys off one by one here, because you guys were way too split up. You guys want to stay condensed. But yeah, it is now 14 minutes. After this, every game is going to be vastly different. You want to just perfect your first 14 minutes. It's the most important minutes of the game, because after 14 minutes, tower platings fall and laning phase is now over. It gets wacky and wild. As you saw with me and Pike, at 15 minutes, most of our games were over. You want to perfect your first 14. Because it is the most important in the entire game. And yeah, so that is me spewing a whole lot of shit really fast in 14 minutes. Probably overloaded your brain, but good luck. Welcome to the jungle.